Methuselah's name means when he dies, it will come. So from the time of Jared, they knew prophetically God was going to deal with this mess. Enoch tried to correct the mess. When Methuselah was born, they gave him a prophetic name. And the prophetic name meant, hey, if it's not fixed by the time he dies, then the long-awaited judgment is finally going to come. God's going to clean up this mess. Methuselah gave birth to a son whose name was Lamech, means lamentation. And during his life, this thing became the worst. It was just horrible what was happening to the earth. There were giants, there were monsters, there was cannibalism, violence.
So there was weeping, there was crying.
Lamentation.
Thus the name lamentation.
And his Lamech.
Yeah.
And Lamech gave birth to a son whose name was
Noah.
Which means pause, rest, or reprieve.
Wow.
And his name literally meant prophetically, during the lifetime of this baby, finally there's going to be a reprieve from all of this. Now, when you come to Hebrews chapter 11, verse 7, it says, by faith Noah, having been warned by God, prepared his house and built an ark to the saving of his home. And I always thought that Noah just heard from God by himself. But you know what? He came from a family of people that were listening to God. Jared heard from God. His name was prophetic. Enoch's name was prophetic. Enoch wrote those verses, those records. They were passed on to Methuselah. Methuselah passed them on to Lamech. Lamech passed them on to Noah. Noah carried revelation from generations.
That's true.
And I said to my wife, think about it. The responsibility we have to pass revelation from generation to generation to generation. And I believe hearing from all his predecessors made it easier for him to say yes to the assignment. Because from the time he was young, he knew judgment ultimately would come.
Okay, so Enoch, we're pretty sure that he wrote this first 36 chapters.
First 36 chapters.
And Noah would have had conversation with
Noah would have had conversation with Methuselah. Isn't that amazing?
to think about, well, to the point that he probably took the Book of Enoch on the ark.
Yes, and people say, well, how did he do that? Well, back in those days, everything was cuneiform, which is writing in stone. And so he would have carried that onto the ark, and that's the way it would have survived the flood.
And of course, we would find fragments of that in the Dead Sea Scrolls, right?
And they have found not just fragments, they found an entire copy of the Book of Enoch in the Dead Sea Scrolls, and another book called the Book of the Giants, which people also believe predates the flood, which means Noah had to also carry it onto the ark. And the Book of the Giants is amazing. It's really fascinating.
And what does the Book of Giants say?
It really talks about the behavior of the giants. If you want to know why they were violent, read the Book of the Giants. It will tell you what they were doing.
What were they doing?
Well, they were eating all the production of man, and when there was nothing else to eat, because they were so enormous, they began to eat human beings. Then they turned on each other. They began to eat each other. They were cannibals, and they were known for drinking blood, and that is the reason why. When Noah came off the ark, the first law that God gave, which is such a strange law, is you will not drink blood. Why would that be the first law? But it was the equivalent of God saying, okay, Noah, we've cleaned this thing up. Let's not go back to what we just came from. We're never going to do this again.
Right. And so what I really got from your book that I really never understood is how many giants were on the earth.
There were a lot.
When the flood happened, and how many people. And when you talk about how many people were on the earth.
There were several million at least by the time of the flood.
Yeah.
Now, some people say, well, why are there no remnants of that early civilization?
I was going to ask that. Is there any giant bones?
Well, first of all, there are giant bones. They've been hidden, they've been concealed. I know where one is buried right now. I could take you to the very place where one is buried, and it's covered because they're afraid it's going to be looted. But according to 2 Peter chapter 2, that civilization before the flood was completely wiped out. And the Greek word that is used to describe the destruction of that civilization is a particular word which normally describes the letting loose of wild dogs to tear an animal to pieces. But when it's used in connection with the flood, it means the waters of the cataclysm, the flood, were so devastating, it literally disassembled everything that existed before the flood. And that's why it's very difficult to find ruins.
Well, before you leave, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, we would love to hear how the Lord
is moving and touching your heart right now. So be sure to comment below and then share this video with someone you feel needs it just as much as you did.